Hi friends, so I promised I would make a little review video on how to make your flea maps today. Okay, so you need to make sure you have your flea map page, okay, and your bubble map that we made the other day. So I'm going to show you my bubble map real quick so you remember what the bubble map is. Okay, so I did mine on Maui, and we have the who, the where, the how, the what, and the when. We also decided to choose three of the activities that we did on our trip and then number them. What did I do first? I went on the helicopter tour first. What did I do next? The next day, I went on to a luau. Then I went ziplining. So that was my third thing. So you're only going to pick three things and then make sure we only pick one trip so we stay focused on our in our writing, okay? And I would recommend looking at the slideshow and looking at that example one we talked about this morning about the camping and about the raccoon and the backpack. You should look at that one. That's a really good example of a really great narrative that has transition words and details. Okay, so this first box up here is our introduction, and it should be about 3 to 4 sentences. Okay, and this is when you should talk about when you went somewhere. So think about when you went, who did you go with, maybe why you went. Okay. And then give us a little hint of what you're going to talk about down here. So you're going to hint to your three activities. Okay. So I'm going to read mine. We did this one together in class. All right. Last summer, my husband and I traveled to the beautiful island of Maui. So I talked about where I went and who I went with. We went to celebrate our anniversary while my parents watched our boys. Some of my favorite moments of my trip were our helicopter tour, zip lining next to the ocean, and our 4th of July luau. So I gave you a hint about the three things I'm going to talk about down here. So I did my when. When did I go? Last summer. Maybe it was last month. Maybe it was 2 years ago for you. Who did I go with? I went with my husband. Why did I go? It was our anniversary. And for your why, maybe it's because you wanted to have a family vacation together. Okay. And then my hinted to my three activities. I did my helicopter tour, my zip lining next to the ocean, and the 4th of July luau. Obviously, there was a lot more things in Maui that I loved, but those are the three things that I'm going to focus on today. Okay, so now in these three boxes, you should probably try and do 3 to 4 or more sentences in each one. Okay, now I ran out of room, so it's okay to write on the back, and I numbered it number 1 here and I numbered it number 1 here. So I know that those go together. Okay. We also are working on our transition words. So we're transitioning like first, next, finally. Okay. And you can use all kinds of different ones. On the slideshow, there's a really good list that we put together today for you. And on our seesaw assignment, there's a really good list of transition words too. So you can look there if you're having trouble thinking of one. But you can always use first, next, and finally. Okay, so I use our trip began with, and then the next day, and then finally. And I want you to circle your transition words or highlight them on your flea map so you can see them. You know you did it. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to talk about my helicopter tour now. Okay, and I want you guys to talk about how you felt. I want to hear lots of details, feelings, and things like that. So let's see. So, our trip began with an amazing helicopter tour over Molokai. I was so nervous and excited about going on a helicopter for the first time. So, I talked about how I felt about it. Okay, so if you went to a pool, maybe talk about how you felt about going to the pool. Maybe you were super excited. Okay, I remember how windy the propeller felt when we were about to get on. That's a detail. So I'm giving you a detail of how it felt, like the wind. Okay. The liftoff was crazy, and my stomach, oh, I have to turn it over now, was doing flips. So there's another detail. So I didn't just say the helicopter ride was fun and it went really high. I kind of gave you an idea how I felt on it. but it was all worth it. The whole trip was beautiful, especially the waterfalls. Okay? I could probably go on and on and on. All right. So the next one, so I'm done with that box. I think I had more than 4 sentences, and that's okay. Okay, try and do at least 3 to 4 sentences in each one of these sections. Okay, this one, I'm going to talk about my zip lining next to the ocean. The next day, it was actually, I'm going to talk about the 4th of July because that happened next. Okay, the next day, it was the 4th of July, and we were off to a beach luau. So now I'll add some of my details for you. Okay. It was sunset in the sky, and the waves were crashing. I was so excited to see the fireworks over the ocean. This is number 2 because I have a feeling I'm going to have to turn it over. I was so excited to see the fireworks over the ocean. Okay. We ate authentic, like real Hawaiian food. It was super cool. Authentic Hawaiian food, comma. And now I'm gonna draw a little arrow so I remember that I'm gonna turn it over. Here, I'll draw a line. Here's number 2. Okay, we saw fire dancers. That was really cool. And hula dancers. Finally, when it got dark, the fireworks went off, and it was a beautiful reflection over the ocean. When it got dark, the fireworks went off and were beautiful over the water. Okay. Now, my third one, finally. Okay. So I didn't put mine in order up here, and you don't have to. Just make sure they're in order down here. Okay. Unless you want it to be up there too. So finally, on the last day, we went zip lining. Okay. And then I would describe how it was. I was really scared to zip line. I've never done that before, and I'm a little scared of heights. And I was really scared. But I remember there was a 5-year-old, I think he was 5 or 6, he was in front of me and he did it. And I was like, okay, if that kid can do it, so can I. And it was amazing. So I would write down all of that information right here and about how I felt, how exciting it was. I screamed really loud the first couple times too, because it was kind of scary. But then I got the hang of it. I think we did 7 zips. So, all right. And then I would probably turn it over because I would run out of space. But for the sake of time, I'm going to just jump straight down here to the conclusion, which is your last one. This is where you get to reflect like, oh man, that was a really great trip. Why are you never going to forget it? Why was it memorable? So I will never forget our trip to Maui because of all the amazing activities we did. The Maui ocean and beaches are something I will always remember. I cannot wait. So maybe say something about how you can't wait to go back. I can't wait to go again with whoever it is you want to go with. So I cannot wait to take my whole family to Maui. So I can't wait to go back. I'll never forget. Why was it memorable? Okay. So have fun writing this. And if you need some of the weekend to finish it, that's okay too. And Monday we'll have a big check-in on our fleet maps. All right. Happy Friday.